So we are going to take a quick look at the different properties. There is a property called the commutative property of addition and the commutative property of multiplication. They're essentially the same property. The way it works is, think of the word commutative or the word commute. That's what people do in the morning when they drive to work. They change their location. So from that word commute comes the commutative property, which basically says that changing the order or the location of the addends will not change the value of the sum. For instance, 4 plus 5 is the same as 5 plus 4, and 7 plus n, therefore algebraically would be the same as n plus 7. The commutative property of addition and the commutative property of multiplication, they are essentially the same property, except one deals with addition and the other one deals with multiplication. So commutative property of multiplication states that changing the order of the factors will not change the value of the product. 4 times 5 is the same as 5 times 4, as we should know. So therefore, algebraically speaking, 7 times some number n would be the same product as n times 7. So where would we use the commutative property? The commutative property comes into use when we want to simplify an expression. And to simplify an expression, not like simplifying a fraction, simplifying an expression means we evaluate it as much as we can, where we have to come to a point where we stop because we don't know the value of our variables. So we can use the commutative property of addition and the commutative property of multiplication to simplify these two expressions. If we change the order of the addends of 8 plus n plus 4 to 8 plus 4 plus n, then we can add 8 plus 4 and we get 12 plus n. So these two expressions are equivalent expressions. They have the same value, but by changing the order of the addends, we made the expression a little bit simpler. Now from 3 terms, we're down to 2 terms. So that's how we simplify expressions using the commutative property of addition. And the same thing works with the commutative property of multiplication. Okay? If I change the order of the factors, and then I get 5 times 3 is 15 times y, or 15y. So these two expressions are also the same expression, except we were able to simplify them by using the commutative property of multiplication. So review: commutative property of multiplication and addition. Changing the order addends or factors will not change the value of the sum or the product.